What's up, Phoenix? It's your boy Martin. I'm here with Tom Bateman. He wants to bring the Rams back from St. Louis back to LA. Now, how are you trying to build momentum? Because I've heard talks about it. The Rams are unhappy in St. Louis and they wanted to move somewhere else. How are you building momentum to take them back home?
Well, we've been working at this for about 5 years. Ever since the first talk about that there was going to be another professional football stadium being built in Los Angeles.
Right.
So we followed the developments that have been going on with the stadium developments in Los Angeles, plus the situation with the St. Louis Rams and their lease with the Convention and Visitors Commission over there. That has created an opening for a possibility that the Rams would move back to Los Angeles. And so we've been following that, and we've been advocating that the Rams should return to their home of Los Angeles, where they were for 49 years.
So I heard at one point in time, I don't know if you could put more input on this, that that the NFL was thinking about putting an expansion team in LA or taking the Raiders back to LA. What was going on with that?
Well, there was an attempt at expansion. This was in 1999 when the NFL was going to finally award the 32nd team, and they actually awarded a team to Los Angeles on the condition that they were able to come up with a stadium agreement. Unfortunately, what happened is that they had two different ownership groups who did not see eye to eye, did not agree with each other, and the NFL tried to force a marriage, and it didn't work out. It fell apart, and the NFL awarded the 32nd team to the Houston Texans.
Right.
And so that was probably the closest that it came that LA would be awarded an expansion team, and they fumbled the ball.
Right.
There have been possibilities of other teams. I mean, it's more, I think, been talked about rather than an actual reality, but it's always there given the fact that Los Angeles doesn't have an NFL team, so it's always part of a conversation, Right. So that's what, it's part of something. We don't like it, but unfortunately, as long as there's not a team in LA, there will always be a conversation about teams possibly moving, whether that's credible or not.
I know for a point in time, the Cardinals, if they didn't get the new stadium in Glendale, that they were going to move to LA.
That was, again, talked about. I don't know how serious it was. I think that there was always if a team didn't get its stadium done in a particular city, and it wasn't just Arizona with the Cardinals.
Right, and I heard the same thing with the Vikings too.
With the Colts, with the Vikings. So until cities are able to get their teams the stadiums they want, it kind of just seems that LA just slips into the conversation.
Right.
Again, whether it's serious or not, I think it's sometimes more that it's just talked about rather than it was an actual real thing. But, as long as there's not a team in LA will always be a stalking horse, and it'll be dropped out there, and maybe that motivates cities to provide stadiums for their teams.
Right. So how do you see this going? Do you see that the LA is eventually going to get a team? Because I know they have the LA Kiss, the arena football, but it's just not the same as the NFL.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, arena football is arena football. It's never been a replacement for the NFL, and nothing has replaced the NFL. I mean, even LA has two great college football programs, USC and UCLA, but even that, it doesn't replace the fact that you don't have the NFL. I mean, LA has two NBA teams, two Major League Baseball teams, two NHL teams, and they have the world champion, they have the MLS champion, Galaxy. So there's a lot of opportunity, but there is no NFL team. And I think that the NFL has always been looking for the right situation, and the right situation hasn't come on. Once they expanded to 32 teams, the NFL wasn't going to expand any further. So that took that option completely off the table. So what it came down to is that it would be a team that would relocate. And when you get to the point of relocation, you have teams, deciding, is it better for me to stay in my home market? Can I work at a deal in my home market? Because if you're deciding to move to LA, you're making some major decisions.
Right.
And you don't make that lightly. You don't just simply suggest the idea that you're going to move to LA unless you're really serious. And no NFL owner, even though they might drop it out there, but has been really serious until now with the Rams situation and their current owner, Stan Kroenke. the situation has changed dramatically since he became the owner.
This is a Super Bowl question now. Do you think that Super Bowl 50 should have been played in the Rose Bowl where it first started?
I absolutely agree. I think that the NFL's aversion to not having a Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl that was played in LA, it was in January of 1993. It was the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills. It was a spectacular Super Bowl. Michael Jackson was a halftime entertainment. I don't see what not having a Super Bowl at the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl has hosted
many events.
It's hosted several college national championships, including a great playoff game this year between Oregon and Florida State. And you're telling me that it's unsuitable for an NFL for an
anniversary
for a Super Bowl
for an anniversary of that magnitude, 50.
Absolutely, and I think it's part of the NFL's stubbornness. Like, they did not want to award a Super Bowl to a city that didn't have a team. But what better way can you demonstrate a desire or faith in Los Angeles or Southern California at large that we, the NFL, we believe in you. Why not even have a preseason game? Right. I guarantee you would have a preseason game and you could put even two decent teams, even bad teams in there, and it probably would sell out because people in LA are that starved for the NFL. We like that kind of entertainment. So I think absolutely, Super Bowl 50 should absolutely have been in the Coliseum or the Rose Bowl. And the Rose Bowl has hosted many events, national championships, the World Cup. Right. Come on, there's no reason why that shouldn't have been. And I think that the NFL made a big mistake because, Super Bowl 50, Super Bowl 1 was in LA, and I think it's really important. That kind of anniversary should have been remembered and should have been celebrated.
Super Bowl 50 should have been held in the Rose Bowl where it started, and tradition should have, kept it there.
Yeah, right. I totally agree.
Nothing against the Niners organization or their stadium. That's probably why they got the Super Bowl, because it's a new stadium.
It was a new stadium, and they tend to award a new stadium with a Super Bowl. The Minnesota Vikings' new stadium, they already got a Super Bowl. I think it's 2 or 3 years down the road.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. That's part of the deal of getting a new stadium.
So I guess that's the trend now?
Yeah, I think that, the stadium that's going to be built in Inglewood is obviously going to be ready to host a Super Bowl. And I think that once that happens and once the NFL approves it, that one of the first things they're going to say is, we were going to award a Super Bowl a few years down the road for you.
Right. Wow. I hope, the Rams do go back home, because it'd be nice to see the Rams back in LA and then have that LA-Arizona rival like we have with the Raiders in Oakland and the Niners in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I think that's what's missing.
Well, I think that having the Rams in LA, one, creates a true NFC West where all the teams are on the West Coast.
Right.
You have, a short trip on the 10 freeway to get to play a game against Arizona, or you have a trip up to the 5 freeway to get to San Francisco, and then further up the 5 up to Seattle. I think it would be great for Seattle fans, it would be great for San Francisco fans, and it would be great for Arizona fans, and I think they'd all love to make a trip out to LA to play the Rams.
So if someone want to get involved with you and trying to get the Rams to come back, how would they do that?
Well, they can like our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Los Angeles Rams, or follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/Los Angeles Rams. Right there, all they have to do, follow the page, participate in it. We have huge activity on the page. People follow, they get our news. We provided the news about the stadium situation, about the Rams situation, and the news changes every day. Right. It's truly exciting to watch this over and over, just snowball into something, just a huge development. So we're really excited about it.
Well, I hope everything works out for you, sir. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to give me this interview, and just say it just one time. Just say go LA Rams.
Go LA Rams.